The reason why I don't like number one, listen carefully, look up here now. It doesn't hit exactly square in the corner. Like if you look, I think this one might be a direct hit, so I like that one. But I can't find anywhere else. This looks like it, but it's a little bit high. So I'm going to skip this one for now. So take a look at this one right here. This one hits dead in the corner of the box. This one hits dead in the corner of the box. So I can get the slope out of this real easy. Look, I'm going to go up one, that's my rise, and then I'm going to go to the right one, that's my run. So the slope is rise over run, which equals 1. So the slope is 1. The y-intercept is right here. There's your y-axis. So the y-intercept is 1. So you can write a line. You can say y equals slope-intercept form, m, which is 1, x plus b, which is the y-intercept. And that's how you do it. So you have to find the slope, and then you have to find the y-intercept. Any questions on number 1? Or 2, rather? All right, number 3. It says, write an equation of the line with the given slope and y-intercept. So put y equals mx plus b, and you're going to substitute the 4 for the slope, and the b is 1/2. So it's going to be y equals 4x plus 1/2, and you're done. Real simple. Don't miss those. Okay? Number 4 is the same way. So it's going to be y equals mx plus b. Done. Easy problem. This one, y equals 0.7x plus 7.3. All of those were easy. The next one, it says, what are the slope and the y-intercept? So on number 6, here's your slope. Scratch the x out. That's not your slope, okay? And then the y-intercept is 1/2. Slope and y-intercept. Okay, on this one, it hits the y-axis. Look here now, this is going to be a guess, but it looks like it hits it at 1.5. So I'm going to say the y-intercept is 1.5 or 1.5. They're going to give you the answer choices, okay? This one's going down. Now watch how I get the slope. It hits the box exactly right here, and it hits the box exactly right here. So I'm going to square this off or make a rectangle like this. And you can start at either point you like. Okay, I'm going to start at the upper point. So I'm going to go to the right 2, so that's a positive 2. But then I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be a negative 5. So it's rise over run, which is 2, and that's your slope. So to write an equation, you're going to say y equals mx plus b. Any questions on the front side of this worksheet? Okay, I'm going to flip it over and finish the rest of this test or practice test. Okay, so here we go. So on the back side, it says graph it. So look up here. You could distribute if you want to, and then you could move the 2. But I think that's a lot of work. What I would do is just recognize it for what it is. In other words, in order for this to be a plus, it would have to be y minus a negative 2. And the same thing here. This would have to be x minus a negative 2. What I'm trying to say is the x and the y here, or a point, is going to be negative 2, negative 2. So I'm going to go to the left 2 and down 2 and put that point right there. Now some kids get confused when I try to show them that. So I tell them, okay, just do the opposite of whatever this is. If it's a plus, put a minus. If it's a minus, put a plus. Okay? Now your slope is right here. So I'm going to go up, rise. I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go up 7. I'm not going to count, but I would if it was a test. And then I'm going to go to the right 8 this way. So my graph
Something went wrong.
is
Please
going
try
to look
again.
something like that. Is that you, Anthony, again? All right, turn that off, please. This one right here says, write an equation in point slope form. Okay, so look up here. Point slope formula is this. Y minus y equals mx minus x. And then you substitute your numbers in there. So it's going to be y minus my y, which is a 5, is equal to my slope, which is -4, and then x minus my x, which is 9. These are easy. You just plug them into that equation. And number 10 is the same way. Any questions on 9 and 10? All right, let's keep moving. Number 11, graph this one. This one's a special case. Some of you, when you graph, you use dots. And I tell you, don't use dots. I would rather you use tick marks. And the reason why I want you to use tick marks is because it helps you identify how the line goes. So for this one, it would look like that. X equals -2. All right, let's keep moving. That's 11. Let's go to 12. Find the X and Y-intercepts. Now pay attention to this, okay? It's real simple if you just listen to it. Let's say I want to find the Y-intercept first. So
Sorry, something went wrong. Please try again.
take your finger and cover up the X, just like that. So I'm going to have 24 divided by 4 is going to give me 6. So Y is going to be 6. That's it. Now, to get the X, I take my finger and I cover up the Y. And so I say 24 divided by 3 is going to give me 8. So X is 8. So I now have the X-intercept and the Y-intercept. And if I wanted to graph it, look up here. If I wanted to graph it, if they asked me for it, I would go X over to 8 and put a dot. And my Y, I would go up 6 and put a dot, and my graph would look something like that. Okay, any questions on these right here? Again, if I want the Y, I cover up the X. So 45 divided by 5 gives me 9. And then if you want the X, you cover up the Y. So 45 divided by 3, I think, is 15. I'm not sure, but I think so. So X equals 15. Any questions on the X and Y-intercept? Cover one of them up, get it, and then cover that one up and get the other one. All right, let's keep moving. This right here says parallel. Parallel lines have the same slope. So look up here. This one, my slope is 4. So the only thing I want out of here is that 4. I don't care about the 7. I don't care about the Y. I want that 4. So I'm going to say Y minus my Y, which is a -14, is equal to my slope, which is 4, and then X minus my X, which is a -3. Yes, you can change these to pluses, and you should. Any questions on number 14? All right. Number 15 works the same way. This one right here says perpendicular. Now pay attention to this. Perpendicular, you have to do two things to it. You got to flip it and change it. Okay, watch. My slope is -1 over 5. When I flip it, it becomes 5 over 1. When I change it, it goes from a negative to a positive. That's what I want to use to make them perpendicular. Like these two lines here, 90 degrees. To make them 90 degrees, I'd have to flip it and change it. And I did. So now I'm going to do Y minus my Y is equal to my slope. And you could just put 5. And then X minus my X, which is 0. And that should be 100% right there. Any questions on number 16? All right, I'm going to skip 17. I might come back to it, but look up here. It says, tell whether or not the lines are parallel, same slope, perpendicular, flip change. If it's not one of these, it's neither. Okay, you only have 3 possibilities. Look, the lines are parallel. They have the same slope. Now that's not a very good parallel. The lines are perpendicular. They hit at 90 degrees. Or the lines hit, but they don't hit at 90 degrees. It's something different, like 60 degrees or something. So there's only three possibilities. So look up here. We know the slope on this one is -5/2. I'm almost done. So I'm going to find my slope here. Now you got to solve for y. So move the -5x. So you're going to get -2y equals +5x plus 1. Divide everything by -2. Now look at this right here. This one says 5/2. This one says -5/2. They're the same thing. So number 18, I would say parallel lines because the slopes are equal. Any questions about what I did? You have to compare slopes in order to determine whether or not the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Now, if you want more of these, I'll do more tomorrow, but I just wanted to get something down for a video here, so I don't have to do it in the morning.